No.
So continuing going over our contention, they have their other attack on our government lobbying contention was that it was the same attack. It was that people are bad in all existence of life. And I'd actually like to hit on what my opponent argued in Cross-X about the Nazis. The Nazis were an all-Christian group, and the reason they were able to get people to believe in them in the first place, and the reason they were able to get people to follow them in the first place is because of this religious practice and belief. People found solace in Christianity and in the idea of Christianity. And because of that, they looked at the Nazis who claimed to be this Christian ideology, and they followed and they believed and they practiced in the same ways that these Nazis wanted them to. And it was because of this we saw such a downfall with the Holocaust and World War II as a whole. So what we could see from this is that because of the belief and the practice of religion, the discrimination that occurred to all of the Jews in World War II immensely occurred. We can also see this with the other people that were discriminated against in World War II, like gypsies, along with Muslim people. Also, going to the idea of religion, a lot of what my opponent keeps talking about is something that can be tied to spirituality, not necessarily religion. To read the difference between religion and spirituality, it's, quote, religion is a specific set of organized beliefs and practices, usually shared by a commonality or group. Spirituality is more of an individual practice and has to do with having a sense of peace and purpose. So when my opponent talks about how people who are in prisons are being benefited from individual religion, this is more an idea of spirituality and not religion. So these benefits are only seen through spirituality and not the religion. And it's for these reasons that we continue to urge a negative ballot. Thank you.
Do we get their cross section right now or no?
No, because
No,
I think
it's your
this is the
final
last
speech.
speech.
Okay, these are the last two speeches. We're like, okay.
This is the last. Wait, I think this is the last speech in general. Me?
No, it's you, and then it's negation. And also, good thing to bring up is in BQ, you never bring up another argument for your final speech as neg.
Yeah, we don't do that now.
So, like,
okay.
Yeah, and don't bring up another argument now.
You guys do like voters?
Huh?
What?
Voting issues?
No,
Oh, okay.
we're not weird.
I was just about to do that. Okay. Reboot. Okay, wait. 3 minutes, correct?
I threw Shay off.
Yes.
Okay. Are my opponents ready? And is my partner ready? So I'll begin starting now. Looking at this debate, we can see that the affirmation has clearly won. We need to look at specific points in this debate. First, we need to look at our opponent's definition First, we need to look at our opponent's first contention, discrimination. The resolution says on balance can mean the majority of people in a society, looking at both the benefits and the harms. When less people are being harmed, then you can see the benefits clearly outweigh the harms. And with the discrimination contention, this does not apply. The LGBTQ is a very small minority. As my partner has also stated, women and the LGBTQ are not the majority of people in the world. Therefore, this contention clearly falls. Next, moving on to our opponent's second contention, talking about government lobbying. They brought up the Nazis and how the Nazis use Christianity as a cover. But again, we're talking about religious beliefs and practices. First, we need to look at what is going on in modern day, not what is going on in the 1940s, so long ago. We need to look at what's been going on now. And what's been going on now is crime rates have been reduced. Alcoholism, gambling, drugs, these have all been reduced due to religion and religious beliefs and practices. People can use anything and twist it to cover up that they are doing evil things. And this is what people have been doing for many years through religion. But this is not actually religion itself. We need to be looking at religion itself and not a cover people use to cover up the bad things that they have been doing. Next, moving on, my opponents have read the difference between spirituality and religion based on their definition. But our definition of religious is relating to or manifesting faithful devotion to an acknowledged ultimate reality or deity. And this can also be in spirituality. This is a different definition, and we need to be following this definition as it is more encompassing of religion itself, because not every religion is the same. Not every religion focuses on the same exact things, and this definition encompasses all religions. So as we can see throughout this entire debate, religion benefits society. We are minimizing crime rates. We are looking at the youth in our communities, and they are not doing bad things as much when they follow religion. The only attacks that our opponents have had based on our contention was that people are still religious in prisons, but 85% of the world is religious everywhere. So of course, the majority of people in prisons are going to be religious because the majority of people in the world are religious. That is why our case still stands and their case falls. That is why my partner and I urge a ballot on that of the affirmation. Thank you.
Take prep and mute yourself, Joe.
Huh?
Are y'all taking prep time right now? Cool.
All right, sorry, I was what the heck? There we go. Okay. I will begin. Oh wait, sorry. Are our opponents ready? Ready? All right. I will begin time now. I would like to start off with my opponent's claim at the beginning of their case. Once again, as I said in my rebuttal, nope, there are no bad religions and only bad people. That's the problem. I'll reiterate. Religion is an institution formed by people, in many cases, bad people, and bad people make bad religion. There is no greater scapegoat in this world than religion and its respective institutions, meaning that people use religion as a scapegoat for anything bad that they ever do, or anything that they need to justify for their own personal motives, regardless of whether it actually has spiritual incentive. And this includes things such as Hitler, as we mentioned throughout the debate, as well as slavery. For example, there are parts of Genesis 9:20 and 3:27 that say justify slavery in the Canaanites, which is in the modern day Middle East, and same thing that was later used to justify in the American South. Ephesians 5:20 through 5:33 says that women should serve their husbands the way that their husbands serve the Lord, because they do not have a true relationship with God, and the way that their husband does and cannot have one, because they would be too keen to turn to the devil. This idea, and as we mentioned throughout the debate today, is essentially the fact that religious texts and religious beliefs of any kind, no specific one, even though we've used the Bible as an example just now, can be used to justify all sorts of evils in the world. And apparently the fear of hell and bad things isn't enough for some people, because they will justify their actions as being heaven sent or godlike, in an effort to do whatever they believe they need to do to reach heaven. So that's one of the greatest things that we can emphasize from this debate, is that no, religion might not be inherently bad on its own, but religion only is created and denominated once it is formed by people. If you have a religion with no followers, it's not a religion. So yeah, maybe people are bad, not religion, but bad people are the people forming a religion. They're the ones investing in a religion, as we said in our contention 2 of government lobbying. They're the ones putting in the money and also using these religious texts and religious stories to justify their own bigotry. And yeah, maybe it's not the institution itself, but what's the portrait of religion and who's using this religion to justify their misactions? The Bible itself is not opening its mouth and speaking and telling everybody, you know, that they should go to hell. It's the people who read the Bible and interpret it to serve their own benefits. The Bible in itself, if no one's reading it, doesn't have any benefits. And that goes for any other religious text. It only has an implication to our world because people are reading it. And if nobody read it, it doesn't have any benefits, correct? Also no harms. Therefore, having no religion has no harms or benefits, whereas religion, or it has benefits but no harm, no harms, but it has maybe benefits of not being religious, versus the opposite. So that being the most important part of this debate and what the judge should focus on in judging, we urge a vote in favor of the negation. Is that it?
Go off, Queen.
I sort of lost my train of thought for a little bit there.
Bro, I was like, go off, slay, Joe, slay.
Hey, look at the Google Doc.